Hello, Mark Green. I'm here with Melissa Arias from the Epicurean Charitable Foundation. How are you today, Melissa?
Great, Mark. How are you?
Great. Melissa and I have been just friends forever. We've worked on many, many projects over the years, but this particular project is so dear to my heart. Why don't you explain a little bit about the foundation?
So Epicurean Charitable Foundation is a fantastic local organization that provides full ride scholarships to students who are pursuing degrees in the hospitality or culinary arts fields. But they are truly exceptional. Our current incoming high school class has a 4.55 combined GPA.
Wow.
And we look for students who are in need. So the current class has an average family income of just $27,000.
You know, why this is so dear to my heart, I've been in the hospitality business all my life and had mentors. And one of the interesting things about this program is the board, the board members get so involved with the students. Tell us a little bit about their involvement.
So we have one of the most fantastic boards in town, and we have 25 of the different leaders in the hospitality industry, from Vice President of Food and Beverage of Caesars to Vice President of Hotel Ops of MGM Grand, and all these different disciplines in between. And we're not just a scholarship organization that gives a student a scholarship and says, all right, see you in 4 years to take a photo. These board members actually mentor the students one-on-one, professionally, academically, and personally.
Do you think, what I found so charming, because I got to meet some students and I got to meet some of the past students, and like I said, when I was going through my career and had my mentors, I didn't really realize how important those mentors were until many, many years later. And I watch the students, and I wonder if they even know, and they probably will later, the importance of having the mentors behind them and helping them all along the way through this whole process.
I think they know that our mentors care about them, but I don't think they realize how important it is until they get to that upper level management, that it's someone who is really helping you go through the ranks. It's not just, we don't give you your first job, we give you your interview, but they actually are helping you navigate the way through the different ranks up until you find your ultimate career.
I know, and UNLV now, supposedly, since Cornell kind of moved their program around, yeah. Cornell was ranked the #1 hospitality.
Now it's UNLV.
Now it's UNLV. So now they're not only getting a full ride to the #1 hospital, and they're working in Las Vegas, and they have access to the mentorship, which really, and I see them interacting. To me, like I said, I'm always amazed that these they take the time. I know the mentors are so busy,
That's
right?
True.
They're so busy. And when I was at a board meeting the other day, how polished the students were. They were sitting side by side with pretty intimidating, executives in Las Vegas. They were composed and relaxed, and they seemed like they fit right in. It was truly amazing.
I'll tell you, so when we actually interview the students, the first interview, of course, is with myself and our operations manager, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth round of interviews is with that board of vice presidents.
Can you imagine?
I couldn't do it at 18, and so the first one, they are shaking like leaves, and by the time they get through to the end, they are as polished as you see.
I know. I remember when I went to my first board meeting when I was young, the Playboy Hotel Casino, right? And I walk in, and I think Hugh Hefner was there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was shaking in my boots. And I watched these kids.
And they're confident.
Chill,
yes.
like really relaxed. Tell me about Martha. I'm sorry, Martha.
Yes.
Tell me about that little story. That's.
So Martha is one of my favorite stories to tell, because she is everything that the Epicurean mission is going after. Right. She was one of our first scholarships, I believe, in 2003. She was a single mom at 15 years old, wanted to follow the field of hospitality, and we gave her a full ride scholarship. We stayed with her for the 4 years, helped her with her first job. She's been to Stratosphere, she's been to Circus. She went to Caesars, and now, just at 30 years old, is the general manager for Nobu Hotel at Caesars Palace. So, and she is our first student that we've actually, or a graduate that we've invited to the board.
Right.
So we're really seeing it come full circle from high school student to UNLV student to graduate to working her way up the ranks, never losing touch with her, and now we've invited her to the board, and this year she'll get her first mentee, and whoever it is going to be pretty excited to learn from her.
And the students actually switch off, right? They don't stay with the same mentor the entire 4 years of the program.
No, and that's something that we decided only in the last few years, is that instead of just giving you one mentor to keep for the 4 years, we're going to rotate that every year, because you might go in thinking you really want to be in front desk and you really want to be in hotel management, but we don't want you in your 4th year to decide, you know what, I wish I tried a few other things. So the first year you're going to go with someone who's VP of Caesars like Sean DeChico, and maybe the next year you're going to go with Anna Marie Mormondo over the mansion, and the 3rd year we're going to put you with an entrepreneur like Kelly Jones, and maybe the 4th year we're going to put you with Michael Kennedy at the South Point. So you've seen on the strip, off the strip, large properties, small properties, and by the time you graduate, you know exactly where you want to go in life. And if you don't, we're still going to stay with you, and you're still going to have those 4 mentors who are going to help you with whatever you want to do in your future.
You know, you're like their moms, right? I mean, you're like, you have, how many kids you have? They have 16 additional. So I know you have your own, you know.
I can always take one more.
You have enough kids. But I saw some of the things that you were doing. You actually dressed them for, tell me about that. You dress them for success. You teach them etiquette. Tell me about a little bit how you prepare them for this whole experience.
So we came in and we used to just give the scholarship, and we realized that there are other different facets that we need to make them ready to be the next general manager of the Nobu Hotel. So we actually sat down and we talked with the students, and they said, I've never owned a suit before. So we went and got them all suits, and Cintas now donates suits to all of our students, and Dress for Success donates a week of suits to our girls. And we have a suiting closet that all of our board members who have old ties and cufflinks, and I mean, things that we have in our suiting closet are just fantastic. They're not hand-me-down suits. They're really phenomenal suits that we're giving
kids look sharp.
They're better dressed than you or I.
Yeah.
They are fantastic. But we not only just give them the suit, but we get it tailored. We teach them how to wear the suit, how to sit properly. We get them all their first business cards. And I don't know about you. When I got my first business card, I gave it to everybody.
Yeah, I was the man when I had my first business card.
My mom had 5. I mean, I gave them to anybody
still
who
that
would
way.
take
I
it.
still put my business card around. That's so funny.
Yeah, we give them their first business cards, and they think it's the greatest thing. So we teach them how to give a business card, how to receive a business card. And one of the students said to me, and this actually resonated with me in their first interview, I said, if you can eat anywhere, where would you eat? And they said, well, I'd eat at the Olive Garden, because whenever there is a great event in our family, that's where we go. It's the nicest restaurant I've been at. And they said, don't look down on me, but it's the nicest restaurant I've ever been to. I said, well, I would never look down to you. I think that's great. But then we started talking, and they said they were intimidated by these larger restaurants. So what we did is we teamed up with Hugo's Cellar, which is just a very fantastic and regal, and has those old hospitality ways and the way that they treat you. Each woman gets a rose, and they sponsor a business etiquette lunch there that we teach them, you know, which bread is theirs, which water is theirs.
I don't even know that.
I know, BMW, bread, meal, water. Which fork is theirs, how to eat a pea with a fork, how to have soup, how to do everything and feel comfortable doing it, how to not slather your bread like a cave woman, but you know, where to put your butter. And we teach them all of those things so that when they sit down with you or anybody on their board, they are so confident at that dinner or lunch. And each one of our students who comes out of Epicurean says that's one of the most impactful things that they've done.
You're not passionate at all about this, are you?
No, not at all.
No.
just a little, actually.
But what's great about this is Vegas is like the hospitality capital of the world.
We are.
And we're you are putting together the next generation of these executives. And also, which I find amazing, is that when I go by your office, they're in there working at your office. So what's going on? What, like, they just come in, like you said, a study hall?
Yes, so in our office, we actually have a student lounge that has computers and printers and paper and notebooks and resources and anything that they might need for class. They can check out one of our laptops if they need to bring that to school. We pay for everything for those students' needs so that they don't have to come out with anything out of pocket, books, any resources. They can come and use it anytime. And let's just say you're doing your capstone project and maybe your mentor isn't in the food and beverage and you're supposed to be handling that part for your group. We're going to team you up with our VP of Food and Beverage for Bally's Planet Caesars.
Right. My daughter went to UNLV and she had her capstone project. Now that she graduated and she works at Wynn, I helped her with her capstone project.
You're a good dad.
I was her mentor. But explain what the capstone project really is. I mean,
it's basically
final grade. Right?
It is. It's a humongous project that they each are handling a different aspect of the hospitality industry, and it all comes together.
Yeah. They have to put they have to develop a restaurant. They have to design it, you know,
the
build
menus,
it, everything. And then they have to actually perform, and they get the whole staff, all the student body that was in the curriculum has to come in and run their restaurant for the day. I remember I was there. It was interesting.
Who better to help you with budgets than someone who does the budget for all of Caesars Entertainment nationally?
Right.
And those are the people we're having help.
Right.
And we have a great relationship with UNLV, with Dean Shoemaker over there.
Right.
Our board members actually will go out, speak to them. They've helped design the curriculum. So we don't want to just be a charity. We want to be part of this entire community of Las Vegas, of the different chefs, of the different restaurants, of UNLV, to actually all work together and make the strongest hospitality community in the world. And we're doing that. And I think Martha is our pillar.
Right, she's kind of like the point person, the face now of it.
What we said we want to do is make that next generation we're seeing with Martha. We've brought up the next generation, and she is just the first of an entire body of students that you're going to see come through.
And she stays in touch with the mentor. When I was at the meeting, I noticed they did, like when they graduate, it's not over. Some of them don't stay in Las Vegas. Some of them will go and work in the country, another part of the world, but they stay in touch. But they stay in touch. They'll call up their mentor and ask them questions.
Well, one of our students just took a fantastic job with the Four Seasons up in Seattle. Her mentor happened to be up there for a coffee conference. And they went to lunch together. We think graduation is not the end, it's the beginning. And that's, even though you might not have a formal mentor with us, you now have our graduates as mentors. You have our mentors as mentors. You always have us. If you want to know how to negotiate a raise, call up one of our students, call up one of our graduates, ask them how to do that. If you want to know how to work with the unions, call up one of our mentors. They'll give you advice.
Right.
And that's the thing, is that we're going to give you advice throughout every step of your career.
Again, we're in the hospitality capital of the world, right? And I know about the foundation, I know about the Epicurean Charitable Foundation, but a lot of people don't. And I think one thing that I think most of the support that you get are from big MGM, Caesars, Southern Wine, Breakthrough, the big, I call them big box, or what do you want to have, big donors, right?
We do.
We need to get the word out to the local community, because people in the hospitality industry, they want to give back, right? I don't necessarily they know a lot about what you do, but we always want to pay it forward, right? So one of the things I want to discuss with you today is how do we get more involvement with the local chefs, the local managers, the local restaurant entrepreneurs? How can they get involved? I have my own ideas we'll talk about, but tell me about some of your events that you're running so they can attend some of your events.
So besides our big event menus, which is a great dine around, a great silent auction, it's over at the Hard Rock this year. We have great entertainment. We can always use silent auction items, or just come out to the event and get a ticket. That's always there. But we also have these smaller dinners that we've just started, where we're at those different menus restaurants or local restaurants that you get to actually come, sit down, get to talk with the chef, talk to the chef about how they got there, about the meal. So you can actually, even if you can't get to menus, you can try one of our restaurants or one of our local partners.
So through social media, what we want to do is make these kind of intimate, we'll call it with a name. For now, we'll say it's Project Epicurean, or Epicurean Project. And what we want to do is post some of these intimate dinners, these world-renowned chefs, restaurateurs, casino execs are going to have in their restaurants. And it's going to be like eating in their kitchen. They're going to prepare a menu. They're going to come out and speak to the guests. They're going to say how they got involved, secrets about their food, just, having just a casual chat like we are in their restaurant, in their home, basically, because they spend all their time there anyway.
Exactly.
So how exciting that would be if we can have regular followers come to these events, and where they're paying for their dinner, but actually that money is being used to support.
It's actually, by the end of the year, we're going to bring in an entire new student with those funds.
Wow.
Which is
That's
huge
impactful.
for us.
Yeah. But it's great because our community sticks together, right? We all want to pay it forward. We all got a break, right? I got breaks. We all get breaks. But now we can help these young students. And tell us about the students. Tell us exactly how do they get the opportunity to be part of the program?
So any student, of course, can apply as long as you meet our minimum standards of a 3.0 GPA and a
No,
maximum
not me out.
income. I was
I
pretty
would go.
good. I wasn't much over. And a $70,000 family income. But we want somebody who gives back. We want somebody who, like you've seen at the table, that is dedicated and driven. And we don't want someone who wants to necessarily work the front desk, but who wants to be that vice president of hotel operations. We're looking for that next Martha Morales to sit at the table, be general manager of Nobu Hotel, who's actually going to change and impact the Las Vegas hospitality industry. So,
yeah, well, any restaurateurs out there that hear this, I know we have a major commitment by a lot of restaurants in town now who are going to become part of this series of invitations to, like I said, the invitations to you to come in, sit in their restaurant, and be a part of this whole process. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about being a part of that. And programs coming up. We have the Strikes is the bowling program.
We have Strikes for Scholarship. That's an entirely student-run event. It's over at the South Point. It's the last Sunday of August.
Right.
And we do a great balloon pop raffle in which you can buy a balloon for your kids. They actually have to pop the balloon and there's a prize inside. And it's student-run. It raises all the funds for their books for the year. And then some. It actually started raising the funds for the books, but now it actually also puts a student through school for the year plus books. Because it's gotten so large. And so just by throwing a couple of, of bowling balls down the lane, we're actually sponsoring another student. So we've got that. We've got...
Can those students come to the dinners? Like, if we have these dinners...
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah.
And believe me, they would love to go and eat at these restaurants. So I wouldn't have to twist any arms.
No, but it'd be nice for them to interact with the people who are going to support them, so that you can put a face to actually what's happening. And
no one will mind going to eat at these restaurants and having a fantastic meal and talking with everybody and getting to know the chefs. They are not your typical 18-year-old that just wants to go out and work at a small franchise.
By the way, Olive Garden is one of my favorite restaurants too. Just so you know.
It was my grandma's.
Okay,
so,
all right.
Just to let you know that God bless my grandma up in heaven. She's still eating her Olive Garden up there. That was her favorite.
And imagine if
I'm not speaking bad about them.
Imagine if they ran the whole Olive Garden. That'd be a pretty good job.
Free breadsticks.
He might come
salad.
back and run the whole company someday.
And that's what we're hoping for.
Yes. I can see it after I met some of the students.
They're amazing.
Yeah. So I have to thank you, because I know how much work this takes, and I know how much work it takes for the board members, because being in the hospitality industry, you're working 24/7 and you have no time. And then when you do have time, when you do go home, it doesn't stop there. And for them to give up their time, that's a really important part of this. I mean, it's all about the students, number one. And the board members are so humble, they don't even want to be mentioned, right? But I watch the intensity that they have getting involved.
They're passionate.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And that is, and I said earlier, I think the students won't realize this today, but 20 to 30 years from now, when they look back, they're going to pay it forward, because they're going to look back and say, if it wasn't for these mentors, they wouldn't. The opportunities just put for them has just been amazing.
Well, and I'll tell you, so we as we evolve as an organization, they actually do see pieces of it that they ask us, how can we mentor one of our new students?
Really?
So each of our seniors get a freshman to mentor them academically. They can tutor them. They can show them where the study halls are, where the student union is. We actually make sure that they feel so comfortable when they are at UNLV, because we want to make them get to the end. And I don't know if you know this statistic, and it's one that I use very often. Not only is Nevada one of the last in students going to college, only 19% of our students actually that go to college graduate in 4 years. 19%.
What's your rate? It's like 80% graduation or more?
It's 80% since the inception of Epicurean, but it's even higher now because of all the tools that we're giving them to help them succeed. So I don't like to say we hold their hand, because they're already exceptional, but we give them every tool that they actually need to graduate.
That's obvious. The time and what I've seen is just, it's amazing. So
if you're not doing well at school, one of our seniors that got a 4.0 an A in that class is actually going to tutor you. And if that doesn't work, we're gonna hire you a tutor. We're gonna find you a tutor. We're gonna go out to one of the VPs of purchasing to see if they'll actually spend some time, and they will spend some time with you and tutor you. So we are going to make sure you graduate, and we will give you every tool that you actually need.
Well, thank you for today, and I hope this gets the message across, and I hope the community comes together, and people who don't know about the ECF now know a little bit more about it, and if they can, like I said, we'll start sending out information about programs that you're running.
Thank you.
And I know you're going to have a ton of support because that's just the way hospitality people are. So
It's a really great industry.
And thank you again for all you do. It's just
thank you
wonderful.
For your time.
No, and let's get together another week or two or a couple of weeks and talk about some of these wonderful programs we have coming up.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay. Bye-bye.